Am I audible now?
Oh, yes, I can hear you clearly.
I don't really have a great setup, right? So I'm still trying to figure out should I use the iPhone microphone or the MacBook, but this clear?
Yeah, I think it's clear. The thing is, I think when I talk, your audio gets cut off. Can you talk something? Can we
Yeah.
both talk at the same time?
Yeah. India
Yeah.
is my country. I am very proud of India
All
because
Indians
I
are my brothers and sisters.
is this
Okay.
can you hear me when I'm talking?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yeah, I think it's fine now.
Because the last few videos I noticed that I didn't see any discrepancy, but
Hmm.
when they uploaded it, my audio was cutting off. So this time I have used a LAN cable. I don't know if it's my internet or what. So
Okay.
it's clear from your end, right?
Yes, for me, everything looks clear. And are you using a mic? Like, which mic are you using?
No, right now today I'm using only MacBook and the
Okay.
MacBook
So
whatever
it's
setup.
directly recording everything from the MacBook.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Somebody
Okay.
told me that do this, don't try to use an external mic. Sometimes there can be a lag or something. So today I'm doing
Yeah.
full Mac set. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool, ma'am. Okay. Let's start the
Oh,
video.
yeah, one more thing before we
Sure.
start. I just had a request. If you can just call me Sonika, that would be really great.
Sonica.
Yeah, because
Okay.
yeah,
Uh,
honestly, like Sonika, it's easy. It's just that ma'am feels very like I don't know, like old. Not like I'm not trying to act my age,
okay.
but I think it's easier for me to be on a first name basis.
I'll
So
try.
please,
But
thank you.
okay. I never did this. I mean, I usually call ladies, all the ladies, ma'am, even if
No,
it's
no,
a
I
young girl.
totally understand. And if it's awkward for you, then I wouldn't force you. But
Okay.
once we start the recording, I'll also tell people because I would prefer to be on first name
Got
basis with
it.
teachers, educators.
Yeah.
If they're students, it's a whole different thing. It's fine, because I call my teacher Miss and she's only 3 years older than I am.
Okay.
But she is my teacher, so I call her, Miss or ma'am. But otherwise, I
Okay.
think first name basis is easier.
Sure, Sonica. No problem.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Let's start the video. Let me
Yes.
introduce myself first. My name is Ramachandran. I'm from Tamil Nadu, and I used to work in the software industry. And now I become a full-time YouTuber. I've been doing YouTube for the last 2 years, and I mostly focus on English-related videos. I upload conversational videos on my channel, and that's what pretty much I do. May I know about you?
Yes, certainly. Thank you for the introduction. I did watch few of your videos and I heard about you working in the IT industry or software industry and
Mhm.
recently making a full-time move to YouTube. So kudos to you because content creation is not easy. Like for me, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
So all the very best, but it looks like you're really doing great.
Oh, thank you
So
so
let
much.
me thank you're welcome. A little
Okay.
introduction about myself. My name is Sonika Shetty. And very recently, I have started my own English proficiency academy called Speak Easy Studio.
Okay.
I am based in Mumbai, so I run my offline classes over here, and I was putting content online on Instagram, and Shanta ma'am, connected with me through those videos, and that is how I entered the world of YouTube. And because
Okay.
of her and that podcast, I have the opportunity to talk to fellow YouTubers and educators like you. I also run online classes for students who are not from Mumbai. My focus initially was to work with working professionals and homemakers.
Mhm.
I wanted, adult learners to have the opportunity to, shed off that baggage, of hesitation and
Yeah.
trepidation they have with English. But over a course of time, I've also now have younger students, and it's been a lot of fun because I never taught young kids earlier. So this
Okay.
is a new experience for me teaching younger kids, and it's been very, very fruitful. So that's a little bit about me and Speakeasy Studio.
Wow, that's really cool. That's a very good introduction. Actually, I've
Thank you.
known about you from Sankavi ma'am's video. Well, I was watching her video and I saw your video there, and I was like, okay, I have to talk with this person. So you're a very good speaker.
Thank you so much. Sankavi reached out to me and she was like, oh, somebody wants to speak with you. And I was like, sure. I was like, I'm just taking one day at
Okay.
a time.
So you are doing offline teaching as well as online teaching, am I right?
Yes.
Okay. So do you have a YouTube channel?
I have a YouTube channel. It is in its
Okay.
baby stage right now.
Okay.
I only started it, I think, 2 months or 3 months ago. But earlier, I was only like reposting my Instagram videos over here. But now I'm trying to put out content. But like I said,
Okay.
kudos to people who do this because in YouTube is more long format, right? Which I'm
Yeah.
not used to. because on Instagram I used to put reels of 1.5 minutes. So
Yes.
I'm getting used to the long form. I think I'm trying my hand at it.
Yeah.
So in my free time, I try to make videos, and then I do YouTube, like conversational videos with YouTubers
I
like
think
you.
you'll do really well on YouTube as well because yeah, you have very good personality and also you speak good English. People will definitely like you.
Oh, thank you so much, Ram. But can
Mm.
I tell you something to this
Yeah.
point? That what you point out right now, right? That like fellow YouTubers come to me and they'll go like, "Oh my God, you speak well, and it's so nice to speak with you," which I really appreciate. But
Okay.
I have also faced the other end of that stick,
Okay.
where sometimes I feel like people are intimidated to reach out to me, even if they're educators or YouTubers or even students.
Why?
Sometimes, like I've heard this in the past also, where
Hmm.
people go like, "Oh, I'm so glad I reached out, but I was always scared. I didn't know if I should reach out to you." So sometimes I feel
Okay.
that this whole fluency and talking and English being my second nature has been a great positive experience, but I have faced a little not bias, but I think
Okay.
people just have some prejudice against, not against, but like, "Oh my God, I think she speaks too much English, so maybe I should not connect with her." Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand that. I can understand that. If somebody speaks very good English, people they get a little afraid of them, like, oh my God, what if I the thing is, what if my English is not very good in front of her? Then what will she think about me? What will the audience think about me? They'll have lots of things going on in their mind. So that's why
Absolutely.
most of the people they try to avoid speaking with good speakers.
Can I
Even
just give you a small
sometimes I do
anecdote?
that.
Somebody, a few years ago, somebody told me
Okay.
that they are scared to text me because they feel like they're going to make mistakes in their texting with punctuations.
Oh
See,
my God.
autocorrect corrects your spellings, correct?
Yeah,
But
right.
sometimes the punctuations, everything. And I've never even given a thought. But when they
Okay.
said that, I was like, you don't have to worry. I only care for what you want to tell me, right?
Okay.
And I don't care for the full stops and the colons and the semicolons. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, like this English is a blessing, and sometimes it's also been a little bit of burden on my shoulder, where I feel like I have to prove myself extra sometimes to people that I'm a nice person. I'm not
Yeah.
like a English madam. I think sometimes people think that about me.
Yeah, English teacher.
Exactly.
That's cool. Okay, now I want to ask you something. So when I saw your last video, you said you were in US for some time, right? Like
I was in Canada
you
for
were
5 years.
oh, you were in Canada. Did you know English before you went to Canada or you learned it there?
Yeah, no, no. I did already speak
Okay.
fluent English when I went to Canada.
Okay.
I think, English journey started much earlier when I was in college.
Okay.
I went to a college in a very posh area of Mumbai, very far away from my home.
Okay.
And there I had to, mingle and, become friends with people who only spoke English. And, English was their home language also. So
Right.
I was kind of like I was in that situation where I had to speak in English. And
Hmm.
I think that is the reason why my English journey started honestly earlier, in the 11th grade. So I was about 16 or something then. Was I proficient then? Of course not. That took a few years
Yeah.
of conversation and everything. When I got into law, I think that is when I focused more on the language,
Oh, did you
because
do
you know how,
law?
yeah, so okay.
Okay.
I used to be a practicing advocate,
Okay.
and I practiced for 2 years. And I am somebody who wants to try a lot of new things. So I quit law and I became a flight attendant with Jet Airways. I
Wow.
flew with Jet for 2 years.
Hmm.
Then I felt like I want to do something else now. Then I became a
Okay.
college professor. I
Okay.
taught for 3 years in Mumbai. I taught in various colleges. I taught law subjects and literature. I do have
Okay.
a master's in English literature and
Okay.
a bachelor's in law. So then it was time to go to Canada. We got an opportunity. So my husband and I, we moved. 5 years we spent over there. That is where I worked with Apple. Along with that, did a TESOL course, teach English as secondary language.
Okay.
And that was my first experience teaching English. I've taught English literature, but I never taught English as a language.
Okay.
So when I did that course, that is when I think my mind kind of just went like, oh, I think Indians could really benefit from, this kind of mode of education. It was time to come back. We wanted to come back and be close to family. When I got back here, and then I sat on this idea, I mulled over it. And
Okay.
then finally, 6 months ago, I took the leap. I was like, you know what? It's now or never. Let's start it.
Yeah.
And that's how I came to it.
No, that's really
So going
cool.
back to the English proficiency thing,
Yeah.
when I got into law college, and especially while doing internships, because I was in the high court, and you know how legal jargon is, right? It is extremely difficult. You have to
Yeah.
keep reading. You have to read one paragraph at least 5 to 10 times for it to make sense. That
Yes.
is just how the
To
legal
understand
books,
it very
are.
clearly.
Absolutely, because the
Yeah.
language is very archaic. It's old. It's a lot of compound sentences.
Yeah.
Too many legal terms happening also. So I think over a period of years, while doing that, I started to get better and conversing with other judges and lawyers. I think I used to hear what they were saying. Like
Okay.
my senior advocate, who I used to work under, she used to use this word called travesty. So every time she would go to court, and if she
Travesty.
wanted to make a statement, she would say that, "My lordship, this is a travesty of justice."
What
Like
does it
like
mean?
this, it means travesty, meaning like something very very bad that is happening to justice. So
Okay.
travesty of justice meaning essentially it's a better word for injustice.
Injustice,
So
right?
instead of
Yeah.
simply saying, "My lordship, what is this injustice?" she will go
Okay.
like, "My lordship, this is a travesty of justice." Like, what is this happening? So
Okay.
all of these kind of words, right, would really excite me. So I think I used to
Okay.
just keep my ears open and hear people talk. And then, like I said, over a period of years, every time I shifted to another profession or something, I used to pay more attention to, how people speak over here, how young kids speak, how
Yeah.
older kids speak. So I think over a period of years, I did form like, a lexicon for myself. And
Okay.
when I went to Canada, to be honest, I was confident. Again, I cannot vouch for how good my English was. I was confident. I did very well in the IELTS because you have to give a IELTS, general IELTS exam before you move for a PR.
Okay.
Yeah, so I gave that exam.
Oh,
And I'll tell you this one thing. This
sure.
is not something I think I discuss with people ever so often, but I actually scored the least in speaking in the IELTS test.
Really? How much?
I scored a 7.
7. Oh, that's a very good mark.
Yeah, but the thing
Yeah.
is, my
Okay.
husband scored a 8.
Oh, he scored 8.
Yeah, and
Then he must be in the
his
top
English
level.
is good. It's
Okay.
just that he doesn't speak like me. And like I said, everybody in our social circle is like, "Oh wow, Sonika speaks like this," and my husband's name is Rishabh, and he speaks like this.
Okay.
When the results came, my husband's face was like, and he kept asking me every few days, "I'm sorry, how much did you get in speaking?"
Okay,
And
I understand that.
now I cannot even tell you the trauma
Okay.
I was in, right?
Okay.
Because
But in
I did
real,
very
I mean, in real, who speaks better, you or your husband?
I don't want to sound like
Okay.
non-modest, but yes, it is me who speaks well.
But you
But then I
got the
realized,
lesser mark than him.
yeah, but then I did realize,
Okay.
I fell back on like, what do you think? What did I think I did wrong? And then when the thing is, tell you what, we didn't prepare for the IELTS exam.
Mm.
We just got up one day, we paid the fees. They told us this is the December is your date. We went straight to the examination hall, to be honest.
Okay.
Like I didn't put preparation, not because we were overconfident. I just
Mm.
was like, it's an English exam, right? How hard could it be?
Yeah.
Right. And I know that the reading bit sometimes can be difficult. The writing bit is also slightly complicated, but I didn't mind it because I liked English as a language.
Yeah.
Now, in the speaking bit, I realized that I must have spoken way too fast. My
Mm.
speed must have been extremely fast because now, because I've started doing YouTube and everything, I have slowed down my pace. But otherwise, sometimes, even
So
like
this is
my people around
slow.
me, this is slow. You have
Okay.
no
You're
idea.
still
My
speaking very
family
fast.
members and my family members are
Okay.
so proud of me that
Okay.
I'm able to speak at this pace. And
Yeah.
not because of anything. It is just that I speak faster. I speak Tulu, Kannada, everything fast. Like even
Okay.
Hindi, sometimes you are just going to be like, what does she say?
That's your
You will miss
nature.
it.
Be it any language, you speak faster.
Exactly. So
Okay.
I feel like that is the mistake I made over there because I
Mm.
may have spoken very fast. And see, they record your audio, right? They have
Yeah.
like a record.
Yeah.
So the thing is, they are not assessing it. That recording goes to someone, some other examiner who assesses it.
Mm.
So you're fast in person, you can still catch a few words, but on the recording, they don't know my expressions, they don't know what I am
Right.
saying. This is what I've told myself because my ego was a little hurt.
No, that
But
could be true because our body language is also very important for the other person to understand what we are trying to say. Just the audio
absolutely
itself is not enough.
is not enough.
Yeah.
Then I did give the IELTS again in Canada because to do this course, I had to give the IELTS academic.
Okay.
I gave the exam there again, and this time I was like, you know what? I have to prove it to myself. I was like, I have to do better. So I
Okay.
did do some preparation. I
Okay.
went on YouTube and looked at videos. And that
Okay.
is why I tell people that even for someone like me or for any of us, right? I was confident, but it's not about your confidence. It's about every examination, right? Is assessing you differently. So
Yeah.
then I saw videos on how to get a good band in IELTS, and they were like, say this, say that, take a little pauses, like a native speaker, that kind of stuff. And I did that, and I did get an 8.5 in speaking. And that is
Wow.
when I
Okay. Now
felt
you
like
beat
a
your husband.
professional. Yeah, and he did give it again because I did
Okay.
the second IELTS. So now every time he tells me something, I go like, I have a 8.5. So,
8.5. It's more
yeah,
like an
it's
ID card you show him. Okay,
exactly.
8.5. That's great,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So
That's real.
I feel like these are experiences where, it
Okay.
doesn't matter how, and again, see, examinations test you on that day,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
You may be the bestest software engineer out there or an IT
Yeah.
person out there. But say if you have a test of 100 marks, and
Yeah.
today in this examination, how you perform, you're getting judged on it. So all of us feel that,
Right.
pressure
Yes, you will
of like,
have
oh
that
my God,
pressure when you attend any exams. Actually, I'm not very good at attending exams for all my life. I know the concept, I know the things very well, but when I sit for writing an exam, I always get lesser marks because I tend to forget things. If somebody asks a question, I can explain it, but when it comes to writing, I
yeah,
forget things.
also our education system is different, right? It is
Yeah,
very question answer based, right? There isn't too
right.
much scope to, explain yourself in a practical, modicum like that. So I
That's
think that
true.
has been my experience when it comes to English. So yes, when I went to Canada,
Hmm.
speaking I was not concerned about so much, but I noticed that when I was working in sales and everything, I saw other Indians struggling sometimes a little bit.
Did you work in sales
Yes.
in Canada?
My husband and I both, our
Okay,
first job was at McDonald's because we had no jobs, right? We
okay,
got PR. We took the suitcases and went. We didn't know anybody over there. And we went and we were like, we'll apply for jobs. We're
okay.
applying 15 days, 20 days have gone by, no response. Then we
Hmm.
walked to the closest McDonald's and they said, we are hiring. So
Okay.
we both took a job over there. We were guest experience leaders. Essentially, it is a better term
Guest
for like
experience
a
leaders. What does it
yeah,
mean?
so McDonald's in North America has this thing, it's called GELS, guest
Okay,
experience leader. So you're essentially not working in the kitchen, you're out there with the customers, and they
okay,
give you like a picture and everything. They give you an iPad and you're supposed to walk around and talk to people and go like, how's your experience today? Anything.
okay.
If they're having an issue, give them a free burger. They want, because the thing is, as you know, all McDonald's employees work behind the counter. So
Yeah.
sometimes people here, right, are unable to get that experience. So in North America, they had this version they were trying out.
Okay.
So they were like,
So
you
it's
want to
more
work
like
in the
greeting the customers and asking them,
yeah, yeah,
like,
absolutely, yeah.
how do you like the
Meeting the
experience?
customer,
Yeah.
yeah, and any concerns to address it right there and then. So essentially, let it not be an escalation 3 months from now. If a
Okay.
customer is unhappy, we can make them,
Got it.
happy right away.
Okay.
So I was working in the morning shift. My husband would work the afternoon shift. So same
Okay.
McDonald's.
Okay.
So and then while doing this, we applied for jobs here or there. So for the first, I think 2 years, my job was in sales only. I worked in a clothing company. Then I got a job in Apple
Okay.
retail as a
Okay.
salesperson. That
Okay.
was a great job because in Apple, no matter where you work, you're just treated by the company as a superstar. It's a great, great company to work for.
Really?
They just have yeah, they have a
Okay.
great work culture. Yeah, like that.
I've
Like
heard
it's
that
a, it's
Apple gives so much work pressure to its employees. Uh, I don't know. I mean, probably
not
it's
in North America. That much I can vouch for because I have
okay.
worked in a few other departments. But
Okay.
maybe, see, again,
Maybe in the
management is different
software
in
line,
different.
I think it's different.
Yeah, absolutely. Could be yeah, the whole tech part of it, in the back end could be happening.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, very good, always employee first kind of experience.
Hmm.
And I was in sales and COVID happened. And then we were shut for 3 months. But Apple was so kind. They paid us our salary for sitting at home also. 3 months we sat at home. They paid us our full salary. Right.
Wow.
So I was so happy to have that job then. Then I was like, let me learn something new over here. And I didn't want to leave Apple. So I
Yeah.
kept applying, kept applying. I went to the tech side. You know how in the Apple store you have the Genius bar on the back? So I
Hmm.
started working in the Genius bar as a
What
iPhone
is it
expert,
actually?
and they repair iPhones and MacBooks. So they do all the technical thing
It's
when
more
you
like
come
a
to the store.
service center.
Exactly. But Apple has their own and it's called the Genius bar. It happens at the
Okay.
back of the store and they do all the repairing in the store itself.
Okay.
For that, you need to give some examination. Earlier, they used to send you to Cupertino to give their examination, where the head office of Apple is.
Okay.
So I did that. I became an iPhone expert, and then I became a MacBook genius. And I
Wow.
think, yeah, so I learned the technical
It's
aspect
very
also. I can
impressive.
not impressive. I just wanted to
Okay.
learn something new. Like,
Okay.
my brother's an engineer, works for Amazon. So, he's always been in the software tech part of the job.
Okay.
I was always the more humanities and everything. But I
Okay.
thought I'm North America. Why not try this? Right? This is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Where
Right.
else will I go finding a job to repair iPhones and MacBooks, right? So I
Right.
took that opportunity. And in the whole process,
So now,
right?
do you know how to repair an iPhone in case if there's a problem with iPhone? Do you know how to fix
I
it?
can, but Apple has made the newer iPhones really hard. So you cannot
Okay.
now open it without having a particular few
The
devices.
proper tools. Okay.
Yeah. MacBook is easy. I can fix this MacBook if something goes wrong.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
easier, not easy, easier than
Okay,
an iPhone,
is
but
it
iPhone is
easy to
much harder,
learn
right?
to fix laptops? I mean, I'm not that much of into hardware side. I'm into only softwares, and I know a little bit of hardwares, but I don't know about MacBooks and all those things. Like, what are the parts inside the MacBook? Is it easier to learn about that?
Very, very easy. And I
Okay.
also tell you this that it is much easier to repair a MacBook also because the iPhone has such minute parts, right? You
Yeah.
have to be, the speaker is such a small component, like to
Yeah.
even pick it up and everything. So I think you need more finesse in repairing phones.
Okay.
MacBook is a lot easier, it's a bigger device. But yeah, Apple gives you all the great resources. So it was a
Hmm.
great learning experience. But
Okay.
in all of this, Ram, I'll tell you what. I gave 11 interviews at Apple, within Apple, 11 times.
11 interviews to various departments, or it's for the same job?
Just wanting to move from here to there, here to
Okay.
there. And every
Okay.
time it was like, oh, reach the finals, this didn't happen. Oh,
Okay.
and there were other things also at play over here right now. But
Hmm.
I was very clear that have to put yourself out there, right?
Yeah.
I have nothing to lose here.
Right.
I think that's where sometimes that we Indians kind of like, because I had other Indian friends and who would go like, let it be, Sonika, yaar, why you keep applying? Leave it. It's not
Okay.
going to be a big salary bump any which way. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, but don't you want to do something new? And I think it's a personal choice. But
Yeah.
over there, that is what I felt. Indians had the technical know-how, great knowledge, but when it came to customer interaction, especially escalations, because in sales you
Hmm.
have angry customers.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
language comes into play in these kind of places. See, Ram, you and I having a normal conversation, it's okay, easy.
Yeah.
Now think that I am a super angry customer. Am, I'm fuming right now. Now you
Right.
need to escalate me. And to do that, you need to use the right verbiage. Need to use the right words because you don't want to angry me further. That is
Yes.
when I think language used to come to play. And sometimes I would see some of my other colleagues go like, Sonika, will you please go and talk to her? Please, please, please. I'll do this work of yours. Because they're
Okay.
already angry and they just want somebody to just calmly de-escalate. That is where the beauty of language and especially English is that it allows you to be good in a lot of aspects of your job.
Yes.
That is why
Sorry. Yeah, whatever you said is right. Actually, I've had a similar experience in my work. Actually, I had to interact with an angry customer, and it's very difficult to handle the heat. You know, everything will be on you. Like people will be
absolutely.
expecting something out of it, and it's very difficult to fix the issue. And also, I used to manage both the technical team and the customers. I'm like a mediator between the
Oh,
technical team and the customers, and the customers would be very angry, and the technical team doesn't know what to do. I mean, I would have to go and find the right engineer to fix that issue. So I kind of got that experience.
right? So exactly think
Yeah.
of this experience and in
Yeah.
a country where you only have to speak in English. And I feel like that is where the beauty of having a strong command over language helps
Yeah.
because no situation will scare you. And that is when I would see a lot of fellow Indians who would do well in a company, but after a certain point their this would just plateau over there
Yeah.
because they were just not good at making these like these native English speaking conversations with the
Communication.
people around them. Yes,
Yeah.
like how in North, especially in North America, they love small talk. Hey,
Okay.
hey, hey, how are you doing? What's up? How's the weather? Did you watch the match yesterday? They are big baseball fans. They're
We
huge
Indians, we
NBA
mostly
fans.
don't do that, right?
Right. And we really don't have the small talk
Yeah.
concept. If somebody does a lot of small talk, we'll just be like, what is this person's deal? Why are they talking so much?
Yeah.
But they like all that. And I feel like these are things that we need to learn when we're out there. And I would see that sometimes we Indians would struggle. See, I'm not good at sports, and I never made it also like, oh, I know baseball and everything. But I
Okay.
would try to talk about other things they knew about. They love to talk about the weather. North
Okay.
Americans'
The
favorite
Americans?
pastime is to talk
Okay.
about the weather, how much they hate it or how much they love it right now.
Okay.
And in Canada, it was like minus 25, minus 30 in winters, right? So
Hmm.
during those 3 months, get ready for only and only saying bad, negative things about the weather. So these things, right, they matter a lot in overall personality building.
Hmm.
And when a native English speaker wants to approach someone, right, they will look at two people and they'll be like, you know what, I think I'm more comfortable with her, so let me just go to her. These are
Okay.
psychological things that are happening, and that is why when it was time to return to India, I decided that I wanted Indians to learn that nuance.
Hmm.
Only because you're good at speaking doesn't mean you have to stand and do debate every time,
So
or you
what
have to do
exactly
every
is it? What exactly is that nuance? Like,
my
what is if
my
somebody is very good at speaking, still how they can enhance the communication, like soften the customers or something like that?
So this happens with, like you said, the soft and soft skills are very important. Like
Hmm.
nowadays, you have soft skill training in corporations also. Why do they do that? Because
Yeah.
you learn to know this, that okay, this is this is somebody who's junior to me, but this person's temperament is different. I cannot just give him orders. So you have to talk to them differently. You have to know behaviorals. And I'm not saying you have to be a psychology expert, but you need to know. I always say this, not what to say, but not what not to say is the most important thing in a workplace.
Oh, that's very difficult to do. I mean, sometimes words slip away from my mouth. I get
No,
caught
and
many
it happens
times.
to all
Yeah.
of us, right? All
Yeah.
of us. And then we go like, oh, why did I say that?
Yeah.
And that is why these kind of small things eventually build a personality. So when like I said, when I returned to India, I decided that I wanted people to be, if you're confident, don't have to deal. I think people now who are good at English or language, they feel like the best way to showcase that is by debating with everybody.
Yeah. They started
No, Ram,
arguing.
but why do you think that? No, Ram, but I don't think that. No, but I don't think you should do that.
Yeah.
I think this is the attitude that comes out. No, this is again arrogance coming because of your language.
Okay.
A good
So,
speaker is somebody who takes the audience into play and works with them.
okay. So how can we talk in this situation?
Okay.
If there is more like an arguments happening, like if the person is getting arrogant, how can he speak in a different way?
What I'll tell you right now, right? It also works for group discussions. Okay, it's a
Yeah.
great thing to have group discussions. Now, say the IPL final happened. I don't watch cricket at all, but I
Yeah,
know that
me
IPL
too.
final happened.
Yeah.
RCB versus Gujarat Titans. I know that much. That was the final.
Okay.
So two people were arguing. Okay, they're arguing, and they're like, "Oh my God, RCB is going to win, or GT is going to win." So this is the argument.
Okay.
But if I just stand there and go like, "What has RCB done? They haven't done this. What is Virat Kohli? Who is he?" Like, just keep throwing that. But
Yeah.
say you are from Gujarat Titans, I'm RCB, and you go like, no, Sonika, but in the last few matches, they were the underdogs and they've done really well. So my responsibility here as a speaker is
Hmm.
that, okay, Ram, I see your point, I see it, but I still think that this is what RCB did. I have my facts, but that doesn't mean that I'm supposed to put you down as an opposite speaker.
Okay.
I'm supposed to make you feel like, okay, Ram, okay, that is a valid point. I'll give it to you. I didn't see that. You have to allow the other person also a little leeway in a conversation, right?
Okay. If I allow them, then they will stand on my head. They will say, "Oh,
No, but
I got you."
that is
Okay.
where a good speaker or a confident speaker has to stand going like, I
Okay.
agree with everything you said. I will give you that, but these are my stats. And that is why knowing your subject matter is the queen of the conversation.
Okay.
You need to know what you're talking about. If
So
you don't know
ultimately, it's
facts,
the
how will
knowledge
you
about
argue?
the subject.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But again, sometimes with great knowledge comes arrogance.
Yeah.
And that is what people have to taper in. So I feel like we focus so much on being confident, good, proficient speaker. But there is something that goes
Actually,
along with it.
there is a misconception. People think confidence means arrogance. If someone can talk very loudly in an arrogant way, that's confidence. That's what
Absolutely.
people think.
Exactly. See,
Yeah.
as I keep telling people, do you want to be a good speaker or do you want to be a good conversationalist? They're two different things.
Hmm.
A good speaker is, who Ram, who stands and does, like a oration, who stands on the, like a podium and
Yeah.
talks to an audience. Like how a principal talks, is she talks to the whole room, all the students, the parents. That is speaking. Do you want to be a conversationalist? It's a two-way street. It's
Okay.
called a dialogue for a reason. Two people are talking. If only one person is talking, it's called a monologue.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, now my question to you is, okay,
Yes.
so since you are teaching English to the students, now I want to ask you, if a beginner comes in, if he wants to learn English, what would be the first steps that he should be doing? Like, how to
Adult
start?
or a younger person, like a adolescent or
Adult,
like a
yeah,
young.
a college kid.
Okay. So as
Hmm.
a college kid, I feel like they are blessed because they are in the world of information. They
Hmm.
are hooked onto the current affairs and mostly what is happening in the world. I think it's much easier for them to get started because
Okay.
they're aware of what is happening and what they should be working on. So I do have a student who is in the 12th grade right now, going into 12th, and his family wants him to be more confident, in speaking in for
Hmm.
his future and everything. What they need to do first of all is, like I said, not just consume content on Instagram, right?
Okay.
Because these doom scrolling videos, right, are tailor made. They are very opinion generated.
Yeah.
To form your opinions, you have to start reading content. Read a news report, see something. If you want to be good at current affairs, you have to start forming your own opinions. At that age, forming opinions matter. And while doing that, you need to also be aware of content online. And today we all have subscriptions. We have Netflix, Amazon Prime, Geo, Hotstar, you name it, we all have it, right? Watch content. There are some great funny shows. There are some informative shows. If you want to learn the British kind of way of talking, BBC has some great content.
Yeah,
I would just request everybody that consume this content on the side. I am not saying stop watching Hindi stuff. I'm not saying stop watching your regional stuff. But on the side, play this. You know why? Because the intonation, the ease of that language comes by listening. And when this listening is happening back on the background, it becomes automatic. You would be surprised how early somebody, from the age of, I would say, 10 to 18 can learn
yeah.
and absorb language at a much quicker speed.
Yeah, kids actually can learn a language very quickly comparing to adults. I've seen that.
Absolutely.
Many young kids they speak wonderful English these days. I mean,
I have a
when I
friend.
ask them question like how long you've been learning English, they will simply say, I've been learning it for 8 months or 1 year. But I don't think for 8 months you can get this level English. So
But
it's
see, their brains are so, they're like a sponge, right?
yeah,
They're soaking everything
they
in.
observe
I'll tell
everything
you
very
this.
quickly.
I have
Yeah.
a friend whose daughter is 3 years old, and Ram, she talks like she lives in North America. And I'm not
Okay.
even saying it's a fake American accent. She just speaks like that. So I asked her, I was like, how does she speak like that? Because
Okay.
they speak Marathi at home. And she said that her daughter watches that Miss Rachel's YouTube channel.
Yeah.
She's a really
My
famous
nephew
YouTuber, right?
also. My nephew also watches it.
I didn't know about her. So
Yeah.
when she said that, I opened her video, and it's basic, right? She's talking about colors and this and that. Just by listening to her videos, she has such a natural native,
Yeah.
speaker accent that if you didn't see her face, you would assume you're talking to an American child. So I
Yeah.
feel like at that age, they are just absorbing everything.
I will
But
tell
once
you
they
one
start,
thing. Yeah, the
yeah,
same thing happened with my nephew. Actually, he's been watching this Blippy. He's more like Rachel, and
okay, okay.
he exactly talks like him. He says, "What's that? It's a monster." He talks like a Native
Okay,
American,
a very
like a North
theatrical
American.
American way of talking.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
like, "Oh my God, how did he learn this?" And my sister told me like he's been watching this Blippy. That's why he talks like him. He tries to talk like him. I said, "That's
That's great.
cool."
And see, their accents are not set yet, right? So for
Yeah,
them, it's easy to catch on to it. With people like us, we already have a native language accent. We have the accent of India also. So sometimes it's
yeah.
hard for it. So my only thing for every learner is adult or young is that be a good listener. I said this in all my videos. If you're
Okay,
not a good listener, you will not be a good conversationalist. So put effort into that and also work on your subject matter. Everybody does not need to be good at everything, but
okay.
some things you're good at, try to keep yourself up to date. That is because that allows you the confidence to speak in a room.
Okay. Okay, now I have another question. So, what do you think
Hmm.
about MTI? We Indians have lots of mother tongue influence whenever we speak in English. We speak English in our mother tongue. It sounds like that we are talking in Hindi or
This is
Tamil,
true. Yeah,
but they are
true.
actually speaking in English. So, how do you think to get rid of that?
The only way to get rid of mother tongue influence or any kind of accent is to actively try to listen to, like how these kids are listening to Blippy and Miss Rachel. You
Yeah.
have to find something online that works for you. Listen to it. And if watching content is not your thing, just hear podcasts, hear
Okay.
two people talk, right? Or do like an audio ebook or something. Because in an ebook, it is very it the accent is going very neutral. There are not too many emotions happening over there.
Yeah.
A
Right.
lot of people, that is why, like to do ebooks instead of
Hmm.
podcasts. Because see, podcast is two people talking, laughing. There's a lot of up and down happening.
But
Ebook, right?
that's how you learn the intonation, right? When you
Yeah,
listen
yeah,
to a
you learn the
podcast.
intonation. But if you
Yeah.
are focusing on how to say a few words,
Hmm.
then I think even ebooks are good for that because in that they'll pronounce all the words like they are supposed to be.
Hmm.
If the narrator is British, they'll say it in a British way. If the narrator is American, they'll say it that way. So again, every person likes to consume content differently. So if
Hmm.
ebooks is your thing, do that. But again, don't close yourself. Like like I say, language cannot be learned in a vacuum. You cannot close yourself in a room and be like, oh, I'm an expert today,
Okay.
right? For that you have to put yourself out in the real world. Why I say real world? Not physically, but doing this,
Talking
make
to
conversation
others.
with people, talk to people. So
Yeah.
keep yourself open to that. Take every opportunity that comes your way. If there's a public speaking event in your building, raise your hand, say something over there.
Okay. Oh my God, that's a
Yeah,
very difficult thing to do.
it
You
is,
know,
it is. But again,
I am the
you
guy
will
who
do
always
well.
runs away from things like that. Whenever the teacher calls me to come to the stage and read something, I'll be like, next minute, I'll be run away.
True,
Like,
Ram, that is there. But today
yeah.
somebody gave you the mic, you would go running towards the mic, right?
Still, I
Because
think
you're
I do
confident.
have the stage fear. I have a confidence while talking normally, like
Okay.
with a
Okay.
person, but when it comes to addressing a larger audience, well, I don't have that experience yet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That what if like someday somebody invites you in a school right now to give a lecture? You
I
go
won't
there,
go.
that trepidation is going to be there, that pain in the
Okay.
stomach, not the good fire in your belly. Once you do it right, you will be a
Yeah.
changed person. Then there's no
Okay.
turning back. I'm telling you, that is a whole different kind of high altogether. So that
Okay.
is it. But I will just request people will laugh, they'll snicker, they'll make fun of you. It's okay. Life's too short. Live it the way you want to live it. Pick
Yeah.
up that mic, take that stage, take part in that debate, take part in the poetry competition. What is the worst is going to happen? You will learn something more than you
Yep.
knew
The
today.
worst
You'll
thing
know
is we'll
something.
get embarrassed in front of people.
Yeah, and people's memories are so short, they'll forget tomorrow,
That's actually true. People will
right?
forget it very quickly. Within
We
few
are the ones
seconds.
who don't forget our embarrassing
Yeah, that's
situations.
true.
People have forgotten and moved on.
People have lots of different their own problems. They'll be thinking about that. They won't be thinking about us all the time, the embarrassed
Can you
situation that
imagine?
we experience.
As an adult person, I have problems of my own. Now I'm going to sit and be like, oh, Ram said this 1 month ago. Or yeah, Sankavi said this 3 months ago. Like, nobody has
Yeah.
time for that. But like I said, we have.
Ma'am, 1 second. Actually, we have the last minute. We
Oh,
have
sorry,
only
yeah,
few
yeah,
seconds. We'll wind the session up.
yeah, please.
Okay. Uh, yeah. Thank you for joining this call. I really enjoyed this conversation with you. And
Thank you so much, Ram. I'm sorry, I think I took a lot of time. We didn't get a lot of opportunity for
no, we
questions.
have only 40
But
minutes for the Zoom.
yeah, true, true, true.
Yeah.
But it was a great fun conversation. I like to just go off script and just talk about experiences. But thank you so much for reaching out, and
You're welcome.
also thank you so much for taking the time. It was really a pleasure being here.
Thank you, ma'am.